What's a word you haven't heard in a while? Inflation. Inflation. Guess what? It's back. Hey guys, it's your favorite mortgage guy, Steve. Hey, listen, you already know that, right? Because you can see me. And what's the favorite word? You just heard it, inflation. We're going to talk about that in just a second. So listen, I'm going to go with your questions and I'm going to move fast today. Okay, the shipping strike. Well, we know that's over, but what could have the impact been? Oh my boy, oh my goodness. A lot of things. Like, have you tried to buy blueberries at the grocery store? Can't find them anywhere. It's because they're out of season in this country. They've got to come from other foreign countries. That's just a small example. Have you noticed some of your produce has gone up? Okay, that's the shipping strike. It would have been worse had it stayed in place because of your holiday gifts if they're coming in from foreign countries, whatever. This is another reason why you need to go ahead and start buying your stuff now, just in case, so that it'll be ready. All right. Now, with the rate cut, how come we're not seeing rates drop faster? I am going to talk about that in just a second. The Treasury and the economy is improving. We're going to start seeing rates come down. I'm going to talk about that too. Or are we going to start seeing rates come down? I'm going to talk about that also. Affordable housing. We already know about that. We've talked about it. Steve, where do you get your information? Which news outlets do you use? Okay, so here's the thing. I use a couple of news outlets. I go through Bloomberg. Sometimes I'll watch MSNBC. Very rarely do I do that, but sometimes I will. I watch CNBC. I watch Fox News. So the three financial news outlets. And then I use a variety of online things as well. But at the end of the day, you know what? I've got a very good friend who's an economics person at one of the local colleges who helps me gather this data because he uses it with his class as well for homework. So one of the things I'm going to tell you is some of the information I get are from news clips. And here's my theory about it. Listen, if it's not true, they shouldn't say it. It's just that simple. So what I would encourage you to do is vet any of the information out if you don't understand it. But 99.9% of the information I'm giving you is based upon factual data that I've gotten from the news outlets. So that's all I can do. Now, I do subscribe to something that's on the mortgage side. That's where I get my real finance data, like the stuff I'm getting ready to talk about right now. So listen to this. I'm getting refinance offers. What do I do? Whatever you need to do. But I'm going to tell you this. If $10,000 equals $62 a month in your house payment, or $10,000 on your credit card is at a rate of 24.99% is $300 a month, yeah, it's time to refinance because nobody's got $10,000 in credit card debt. The average in the nation right now is peaking $24,000, not including the fact that people bought new cars and they bought boats and they bought all this other stuff that is non-tax deductible. So yes, it's time to refinance. That's why you need to call me. Let's just formulate a strategy. We know rates are going back up right now. They've gone up about 0.25% since the government reduced rates on September the 18th. We know this, right? Bond market's getting worse. Inflation's back out there again. It's going to get better here in the next month or two. We know this because this is how the cycle works. But get into the refinance pipeline because all of the appraisers and everybody's busy right now. Now, is the inflation boogeyman back? Yes. The economy is cooling. And what that means is you're not spending enough of your money because you're afraid. Your consumer confidence is low. So you're not spending enough money. Do you get what I'm saying here? Because the important part about that is if you don't spend it, then it doesn't go back into the economy. And things like the cost of goods like food and gas, yeah, they're coming down. I just paid $2.84 a gallon to fill up my car the other day. I didn't even notice it because I'm going to have to pay it because I need gas. But I just happened to look down and thought, wow, that's pretty cheap. I haven't seen that in a while. My point is, we're seeing those things come down, but we're also seeing on the other side your utility costs, your homeowner's insurance, your renter's insurance, and your gas costs are all going. Oh, and auto insurance. Whew, that's gone up a lot. But all these insurances and supplementary things, they're manageable because people are getting raises. But if you're not getting raises, then you're paying those bills, but you're trying to save money in other places. And like I told you recently, there are some people that are feeding their family 2 meals a day because they can't afford to feed them that third meal. Now, the flip side of this is this. even though it's manageable, rents are coming down about 5%. Inventory is starting to appear. That's the cool part. We're starting to see more houses on the market. So now there's more choices for people. But what that means is houses are staying on the market for longer. So those of you that are selling right now, be aware, you're not going to get that big, huge surge in equity because somebody's going to make multiple offers. You already know that because you're seeing it. Your house is staying on the market 18 days to 37 days right now, depending on the market, depending on the price range, et cetera. So the problem you're going to have right now is that people are going in and they're asking for incentives again, like closing costs. What we're seeing is people are paying it. Guys, I need you to know something. Don't be greedy. If you've got a house to sell, there's a bigger picture in your life. Who cares if you make an extra $1,000 or an extra $5,000 on your house to sit on the house, sit on the market for another couple of weeks when you've got bigger plans for your life? Move on. Remember, the market gave you the equity. The market gave you the equity that you've got, that you've built into your house. It's not like you worked and built that equity. The market gave it to you. So if you got to give a little back to the next person to pay their closing costs or whatever, just to make your next deal happen, just do it. Just do it. It's not worth it for you to sit there and then rates may go up or down or sideways. And then ultimately what's going to happen is after people have made offers to you, you're going to end up paying it anyway. We're already seeing that. So not trying to be difficult here. I'm just trying to tell you the reality of what we're seeing here. Now, the other thing is this, some of these incentives we're seeing closing costs being offered. We're seeing some people using my lock and shop program, where if you're a seller, you can lock the interest rate in on behalf of the borrower so that you can buy their rate down so that they know what they're getting when they get into your house. You can call me on that. Some of the other issues we're seeing, and this is, I'm talking about this from a negative standpoint. It shouldn't come out like that, but it is negative because it's the news. But a lot of speculation when job reports come out. It's like they tend to be good for the government, but not good to mortgages. But then what happens is 2 weeks later, when the unemployment claims come out, they're higher. So the government comes out and says, oh, we created all these jobs for these 17-year-olds. But then you see the working family man, family woman, people, whoever, are unemployed and they're having to claim benefits. But the 17-year-olds, oh, hell yeah, they got a job. Nothing wrong with that. However, 17-year-olds aren't buying houses, right? And they're not working full-time jobs that they're getting benefits and all that kind of stuff for. So personally, I think those things should be eliminated from it. Now, last things I'm going to say is all this news we're seeing right now, it is optics. Guys, we're 30 days from the election. Everything you're seeing is optics. There's a lot of misinformation being spewed, but I'm going to tell you what's not misinformation. The natural disasters like Helen, there was Helen or Helene and Milton. You know what? I don't have any firsthand knowledge of that other than my brother lives in Florida. And that's what he does is helps those people down there because he's part of the Florida Guard. And the stories he's telling me yesterday, that's all they did yesterday was rescue people from their houses, 8 foot of water in these houses. And they're going on a boat, house to house, taking these people out of their houses. And these people are like sitting there soaking in the water for 8, 10, 12 hours because they can't do anything else. And then you're seeing alligators in people's front yards. And I mean, craziness. That's what he's telling me about. So those are not the optics. Our hearts go out to all those people. I hope yours do too. There are a variety of places you can donate. Any amount of money you want to donate. It's $5, it's $10, it's $50, whatever you want to do. But guys, the most important thing I need you to know is all this news that we've been building up to with lower rates, it's starting to happen. And it just takes time. It's a cycle that we go through. But if inflation comes back, it's going to slow things down a little bit on these rates. But people buy houses. They don't buy rates. I told you. When I got in the mortgage business, rates were 9.75%. That was a long time ago. Rates have gone up, they've gone down, they've gone up, they've gone down. Guess what? People bought houses all the way through those economies. So if you guys need me, call me, text me, email me, whatever you need. You know I'm here for you. Your favorite mortgage guy, Steve. Guess how many pennies are in a dollar? Tell them, Scott.
100 pennies in a dollar, not 105.
Have a great day.